In the past number of decades, basically probably almost from the time they started settling here, which was 1897, over the decades up to 1976, the 100-year anniversary, there's been a lot of miscommunication, no sharing of information between the peoples, between the descendants of the YOUNGCHIPPEWAYAN with the Mennonite and Lutheran settlers. And as a result, there was fear and distrust amongst the people. And with Chief Ben Weenie's leadership, he set out that we're going to approach these people in a spirit of harmony and reconciliation. The plight of the descendants of the YOUNGCHIPPEWAYAN people were, he felt it was being forgotten, and he had hoped that he would like to bring it, keep it alive, and to basically to let people know, like within the First Nations community, the leadership of the Federation of Saskatchewan Indian Nations, and to the primarily to the Government of Canada, that the descendants are alive, and that their hopes of resolving and coming to some type of meaningful and just conclusion to the injustice that was done to them.
We're here today to promote public awareness of our land claims so that there's no misunderstanding between the community that's settled here. Disagreement lies with the federal government and their violation of our reserve that they took away in 1897 without a surrender or referendum. And that's why we're here to interact with the community, to reassure them and to ask them for their support and create the level of public awareness of our situation.
I guess every time you get three groups of people together with different traditions and heritages, it's always, you're never sure how it's going to happen. And we have histories that maybe have not always been in cooperation and harmony. And so I was a little anxious to start that process because you never know how people are going to respond, but it's worked out.
I think the Mennonite and Lutheran communities have all come out and not only learned but also reached out their hand to walk with us. And I'm very pleased that there's a lot of chiefs and leaders here, and also elders, and also people from the Lutheran Mennonite communities. And this territory here, of course, is sacred in the sense that it's one of the first territories that under which treaty was formed and signed.
I've known for many years that there's an outstanding debt owing the YOUNGCHIPPEWAYAN people. I've seen where in other parts of the country issues like this lead to great frustration, even violence, deep misunderstanding, and so it's very gratifying that the communities could come together in peace and harmony here with understanding and with a commitment to seeing that old wrongs are righted and that our future generations can live together in harmony. I just hope that the Government of Canada can see their way clear to resolving issues like this. It's not sufficient that governments keep hiding behind technicalities and programs and dodges of one sort or another and leave issues like this outstanding for literally centuries on end.
I think for a lot of our own people, this was the first time that they've sort of had the opportunity to be introduced to a lot of these issues, and hopefully we can also continue to work on building on that as well. I think this is a story that needs to be told.
Just being able to have now a really positive event to begin moving forward and understanding what it means for us to live in harmony with our brothers and sisters. I mean, that's what our faith calls us to do, and that's kind of what we lived out today, I think.
It's easy to finger point and lay blame, and that's not constructive. What's helpful is working together, and the non-Aboriginal public in many ways really doesn't understand the treaties or the treaty relationship. But with this kind of work, working with the First Nations and the Mennonite community and the Lutheran community here, it's all going to go together in a mix, and the mix is going to produce a positive result. And it's going to serve us all well in the future, every Saskatchewanian, every Canadian. And that's a very important historic thing that's occurred here today. I've got hope that the First Nations take their rightful place in the Canadian society, which they've been blocked from doing for a variety of reasons, one of which is the treaties haven't been implemented. And I hope the treaties take their rightful place in the Canadian state. And that's what we all need to see, so that we can celebrate what we have as Canadians, and the First Nations can enjoy the peace, prosperity, and the harmony that's the very essence of this country.
The understanding that we have and the support that we will get, so that in future our young generation can live together in a peaceful coexistence, and that they will support our cause because they understand the meaning of the word disparity.
We are all one people, we all come from one creation way on high. We are all one people, we are all one color in His eye.